In this video, we're going to talk about the importance of knowing your self-worth. And I'm going to share with you 5 tips on how to build self-confidence as a woman. Hi, I'm Simona, certified life coach and author of the book 111 Ways to Simplify Your Life. I upload educational videos on personal development. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell next to it to get notified when I upload a new video. Today's video hits close to home, as I've struggled with my self-worth for years. The tips that I'm going to share with you have been tested by me and my clients, and will definitely get you started on your self-confidence journey. Now, before we get into the actual tips, let's take a closer look at what self-confidence actually means. Self-confidence means having confidence in your powers and abilities. You have no doubts about yourself. You know that no matter what happens, you're gonna be okay. And when it comes to your self-worth, it's all about the way you perceive your life and achievements. Your self-worth is directly linked to the way you see yourself. Now that we know what self-confidence and self-worth actually mean, let's get into my first tip on how to build self-confidence as a woman. Silence the inner critic. You've probably heard of the term inner critic before, but in case this concept is new to you, let me break it down so it's easier to understand. Your inner critic is that voice inside that's telling you that you're not good enough, that you're ugly, stupid, or not capable of achieving the things that you want. Here's what's interesting about it. Your inner critic is the internalized voice of a critical parent, caretaker, or teacher, someone who insulted you or scolded you repeatedly at a very young age. The thing is, what your inner critic says has nothing to do with reality. Here are some of the weapons your inner critic uses to keep you stuck. It may appear the moment you're about to do something big and scary. For example, my inner critic was super harsh right before launching my first book. Or it may be there as a background noise when you're on a date with a guy and saying things like, "He's too good for you. He will never call you again." One of the most important takeaways I want you to take from this video is that you are not your thoughts. Your mind is actually holding you back. And now I'm going to tell you exactly what to do about it. Step number 1 is to become aware of your thoughts. Your negative thoughts can no longer hurt you the moment you decide to step back and look at them from a distance. Treat your inner critic as a mean person who is simply not you. Some people give their inner critic a name to become even more detached from it. So now that you're aware of your inner critic and the most common negative thoughts you have on a daily basis, you can move on to step number 2, which is to write down everything that's on your mind for 5 minutes. Ladies, now we're going to explore the good old art of brain dumping. Take a notebook or a plain piece of paper and write down everything that's on your mind right now. Set a timer for 5 minutes and come back to this video when you're done. The purpose of this simple exercise is to get everything that's cluttering your mind down on paper, so it's easier to look at it objectively. You can pause this video and come back when you're done. Step number 3, when it comes to silencing your inner critic, is to use the automatic thought record tool. This is one of the most effective tools I use with my clients. It helps you track the link between your negative thoughts, the emotions you feel, and the behaviors you engage in as a result of the previous 2. It's very simple to use. You just have to take a few minutes every day to write down the most repetitive thoughts, emotions, and behaviors you engage in. You can download your free copy of it by clicking the first link in the description box below or visiting bit.ly/thoughtrecordtool. Now that we've learned how to tame our inner critic and take control of our mind, it's time to move on to my second tip on how to build self-confidence. Set healthy boundaries. Ladies, if you've ever struggled with people-pleasing and being worried that your words or actions could offend anybody, leave me a comment down below. As a classic recovering people-pleaser, I can tell you from personal experience that it was very difficult for me to stand my ground and say the things that I actually wanted to say. One of the biggest problems with setting healthy boundaries is knowing where to start. When you worry too much about other people's opinions of you, or you're scared that you will alienate them if you speak your truth, that is a sign that you're a people pleaser. Now, you may be wondering, what does setting healthy boundaries have to do with my self-confidence as a woman? So let me paint you a picture to illustrate my point. Let's say one of your parents constantly tries to guilt-trip you into seeing them more often, by saying that you're a bad daughter or you don't care about them. In that case, you have 2 options. Feel guilty and never say anything back, or set healthy boundaries by letting them know that you don't like the way they speak to you. And if they continue to do it, you would want to see them even less. Another example. Your best friend wants you to drop everything and be there for her, just because she feels bored or needs attention. The truth is, we teach people how to treat us. If you don't like the way someone acts, let them know. Set healthy boundaries by learning to say no to things that no longer serve you. It's not as difficult as it seems if you have a step-by-step guide on how to do so. If you want my exact blueprint on how to say no to people without feeling guilty, watch this video next. I will leave a link below. Tip number 3 on building self-confidence is to take time for yourself. We all hear the word self-care and maybe even try to do a thing or two to take better care of ourselves, such as putting a face mask on, taking a long relaxing bath, or having fun by doing our hair or makeup. While all of these things can lift your mood and will definitely make you feel better about yourself, the core reason for not feeling confident right now can't be fixed from the outside. It has to start from the inside. So how do you start taking time for yourself when you want to take care of everyone else and have no time or energy to focus on your needs? By making the time for it. It may sound simple, but we all have excuses not to do it. Some of us may say that our partners or children need us. Others would prioritize their work over their well-being, which would inevitably lead to burnout. Actually, if burnout is something that you've struggled with, watch this video next. I will also leave a link below. Now back to my point on how to take time for yourself. You don't need to ditch all responsibilities and become a potato couch. All you need to do is schedule 10 minutes for yourself every day. That's it. Let's start small. I want you to take your phone or open your Google Calendar and schedule 10 minutes of your time for yourself right now. Pause this video and do it now. Most women struggle with self-confidence not because of superficial reasons. It's because we're not being good to ourselves. We're constantly giving our best to help others, and we're not doing anything to show that same respect to ourselves. When you spend at least 10 minutes on things that are just for you, you'll also be able to get to know yourself better. You may find that you enjoy doodling, or you may discover a new passion for pour-over coffee. When you become comfortable with having 10 minutes to yourself every day, you may slowly start increasing the amount of time you dedicate to your favorite things. Which brings me to tip number 4. Be spontaneous and fun. When was the last time you did something for the first time? If you lack self-confidence as a woman, that's a sign that you're spending too much time in your head and not enough time in your body. So here is my next challenge for you. I want you to think of a physical activity that will get you out of your head and into your body. Here are some examples that work like a charm. Dance to your favorite music. Cook something delicious. Give yourself a massage or take a walk around the block. The more you move your body, the less time you'll spend on things that no longer serve you, such as scrolling on Facebook or Instagram, watching the news, or obsessing over your self-image. If you want to learn even more ways on how to get out of your head and into your body, listen to episode 102 from the Simplify Your Life podcast. I will leave a link below. Tip number 5 is to practice self-acceptance. One of the things that not many people talk about is that knowing your self-worth has nothing to do with your actual looks. It has to do with the way you perceive yourself and the way you present yourself to the world. Let me give you an example. One of my first clients back in 2018 had self-esteem issues that kept her from seeing herself objectively. She was excessively mean to herself. She couldn't see how beautiful she really was, and spent so much time obsessing over what could go wrong in her relationship that she almost broke her engagement. First, we had to work on silencing her inner critic. Then we worked on reframing all the negative beliefs she had about herself. And in the end, we handled the last piece of the puzzle, self-acceptance. Why is it so hard to accept ourselves? It's very simple actually, because we didn't receive the proper love and affection as children, and we internalized the belief that we had to morph ourselves into whatever the other person needed us to be in order to feel loved. The truth is, we're suffering now as adults because we haven't allowed ourselves to properly express the pain of not getting the love we deserved. We don't give ourselves the love we desperately needed many years ago from our parents or primary caretakers. The truth is, we simply don't know how. So the first step towards accepting yourself is allowing yourself to be honest with yourself. It's easy to put on a mask and hide your true self because you're afraid of getting hurt or rejected. But if you want to learn how to be vulnerable when we interact with other people, we need to start with ourselves first. Being honest with yourself means spending a Sunday curled up on the sofa and crying without beating yourself up about it. It means holding yourself when you're about to fall apart. It means taking all the broken pieces and putting them back together yourself. That's one of the many things I teach in my signature online program for women. Enrollment opens in a few months, and I can't wait to guide you through the entire process on how to build unshakable self-confidence as a woman and take your power back. So make sure to sign up for the waitlist at coachsimona.com/waitlist. So far in this video, we talked about how to build self-confidence as a woman and raise your self-worth. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because in the next video we're going to talk about how to stop being codependent. And I will share with you my best tips on how to become more self-sufficient. In the meantime, make sure to check out these two videos next. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.